Hello, everybody. I'm a practicing therapist and a doctoral student of psychology. Today, I want to talk about why avoidants avoid future conversations, future talks, why they do not, it's not just not include you in the future. It might be that they literally avoid these conversations. And a lot of you guys will say, well, if they avoid conversations, that means they don't like me. I wish it was that simple. That's not true. I have seen couples, I've worked with them, I'm working with some of them right now, where a person is literally with them. They're together for 5 years. They see each other like maybe 3 or 4 times a week. Maybe they're planning to move in together. And so they're a couple, right? They're a couple. Some of them are married and they still avoid future talks. And an example of future talks, so you know what I'm talking about, is maybe you might say, in 2 years, can we think about buying a property in Alabama? Like, I want to buy a property in Alabama. Can we move in together and buy a house in Alabama? Okay. And they might be like, well, I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't speak to that. Who knows if I'm even going to be, around? Who knows if I lose my job? And so they look at things so logical that, like, you might think, okay, do you want to move in with me we move to Alabama, if we ever do? They don't like all of that. Like, the thing is, they're not sure how to answer it because there are lots of things that they can't control, and avoidants don't like when they're not in control. And so I hope that example made some sense. And so I'm going to talk about 5 of the reasons that avoidants don't like talking about the future that have nothing to do with them not liking you, so that you understand why this is occurring. The first one is they don't like hypotheticals because they don't think it's necessary, and they also don't know how to control it. Hypotheticals. Are we gonna, like, when I move, can one day we move to Alabama and buy a house? Okay, that is hypothetical. Nobody's moving to Alabama yet. Nobody knows if they're gonna have jobs. It's just hypothetical. Why are you asking it? You're probably asking, do you want a future with me? Do you like me? If I had to go to Alabama tomorrow, would you come with me? That's what you're actually trying to figure out. They have no clue because it's not happening right now. They don't know. If you ask, do you like me? They'll say yes. Has anything changed between us? No. That's not hypothetical. That is right now. Are you going to like me in 5 years? I don't know. And then people will think that means an avoidant doesn't like you. No, it's because they don't know if they might hit their head and forget their memory. They're so specific and so concerned about these things. The hypotheticals really confuse them. And if you're a person who you feel like you're in a relationship with an avoidant and you don't really know where it's going, but you feel like it's romantic, you feel like there's a connection and you're not really sure, you're not even sure if this person is avoidant, but there's something, you can book a call with me and we can talk about it. We are able to talk about a lot of things. And I've seen so many different cases that likely what you are dealing with, I've seen it before and I have a solution for you. However, some people, that's not in their means. And so that's why I have an email service. You can email me as well and write as many details as you want, and I will get back to you. I'm not going to judge you, I promise. And so I do want you guys to be comfortable, if that's in your means, to use those services so that you guys don't suffer and feel confused anymore, okay? Because the future talk thing particularly is something that you guys bring up a lot, and it triggers you. And then I look at the case and I think, well, it's not really, you guys are doing fine. I understand that this bothers you, but it's not that they're going to leave you tomorrow or nothing like that. You guys have been locked in for many years. It's not, I can tell you why it's happening. I can tell you how we can get them to get more comfortable opening up. But normally you guys are thinking, oh my God, this is a sign they're going to break up with me. Should I prepare? And that's not it at all. So I don't want you guys to get distressed. I feel bad because I want you guys to be happy and I want your relationships to work. And I don't want you to be sad about something that's not actually happening. Okay. The next one is they don't want to say something into the future that they don't have control of. This is what we talked about very briefly in the beginning of this, right? They can't control the future fully. You're not asking them to control the future at all. I know you would never do that. It's that they think they put that responsibility onto themselves. What if I say something and it doesn't happen? Then you're going to get mad at me in the future that I didn't do it. What if, not that this would ever happen, I hope not. What if I forget my memory? What if I pass away and I'm no longer there and I promise you that we would get married and it never happened? Now you're going to be mad at me even though I'm no longer there. But whatever, they worry about all these things and they think, okay, that means I'm a failure. That means I let you down. That means that I spoke about something I had no business speaking about. That's what they're so afraid of. Nothing to do with your feelings, which is kind of unfortunate, actually, if you think about it like that. But You are thinking, okay, do you not like me? Do you not want a future with me? And you guys are worrying about two completely different things. And that's kind of nice, but it's also unfortunate. It's not like you guys are both on the same topic and both of you disagree. That's not it at all. When you're talking about the future, you're talking about something completely different than they are. They do not see the future like you do. You're thinking the future in a positive way. They're feeling like pressure, confusion, stress, commitments that maybe they can at this point make. They can do it. But what about if something changes tomorrow? What if there's something that's out of their control? That's what they're afraid of. The next one is that many feel pressured when they feel backed into a corner. And so they get more defensive and angry. And sometimes they answer in a way that they don't actually feel because they're trying to stop the conversation. Okay. And this is much more common with male avoidance. Okay. This one, like with a male avoidant particularly, they're almost trying to say like, get off my case. And female avoidants will do it too, but usually it's not with anger. Like they're not going to show much anger. Female avoidance, they'll say just, I don't want to talk about it, or just stop asking me, and they'll shut down. Male avoidance, some of them will shut down and some of them will really crash out. And this is kind of tricky because their anger is an emotion that they're showing. You guys, if you're dealing with a male avoidant, you might actually take it as this is how they truly feel. And it's not. I'm just telling you, like, it's not. And many of them, I'm literally thinking about one of the cases of you guys, but many of them will forget that they said this. And then you will be like, wait, what just happened? Like, I literally had some cases recently where you guys are like, he said this to me and I held it on for so many years and then I brought it up and he doesn't even remember saying that. And he says he would never say that. And that's not true. You're right. He would probably never say that. When he's angry, he will, but he doesn't know what he's talking about. And so sometimes you might bring up a future conversation. Can I meet your brother next year? And they'll say, stop pressuring me. I don't want anyone to meet my brother. In fact, I'm an independent person. I don't need anybody. And so now they're crashing out and you took it seriously. When in actuality, maybe they were stressed because they have a meeting at work tomorrow and they're just really stressed about it and they're taking it out on you. Okay. So this is the example that I kind of want to share, but it could be offensive. Okay. I'm going to share it. Y'all go easy on me. I'm trying to explain something and I'm not the best with words. Okay. Have you guys ever seen where a kid is like so comfortable with their mom or their dad that when they're really stressed about things, like even a teenager, they're really stressed at work and they take it out on their mom and say things they don't mean? Like, have you ever seen that? Okay. I know I have. I've actually done that too. Hey, I was a teenager, right? Like we all made mistakes. I regret it. I changed. But yeah, when we were kids, we all did stuff, most of us, right? And so that is like that same feeling is how avoidants feel, which is not good, right? Clearly you can see that that's not healthy, but like that's the same emotion when their partner like backs them up and they're stressed about work. They feel like you guys are so solid that sometimes they don't censor the words they should be censoring. I'm not saying they're cursing at you, by the way. I'm just saying that they might say something they don't mean. That's all I mean. I'm not even sure if you got that. Hopefully you did. The next one is many worry that their answer might not be good enough. And so they avoid the conversation altogether. Maybe their answer is, yeah, you can meet my brother, but I also want to let you know that he's pretty difficult to communicate with. And so maybe we shouldn't hang out with him that long. Maybe just go to dinner. They're afraid if they tell you that, you might get upset. And the last one is they worry that if they do want a future with you, this is one of the most common reasons, that you'll expect more. And that they will get overwhelmed and they will fail you. It's not that they don't want a future with you, but if they let you know, and maybe you'll take advantage of that, or maybe you'll expect more and then they will fail because maybe you'll ask for so much, I'm not saying you will, that they can't keep up with it. And so I hope this video is helpful to somebody. Please like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.